Fun seeing just the simple examples, but you talked about first world problems. I mean, so there's the ones that I don't think of first world problems, sort of security and convenient, energy savings, things like that. But there's definitely things coming out that are totally first world problems. It turns out humans, we personify stuff in our lives anyway. You go with your kids with stuffed animals or something. And it's been fun seeing what the sort of makers and what the regular people do with these smart apps when they get their stuff connected the first time. There's just sort of this, I knew it had a personality in it in the first place, and they're sort of making it respond to them in the way that they, that they would like, right?
Yeah.
And one of the favorite examples is sort of the party button. So somebody's used one of the buttons on one of these where if you press it once, sort of dims the lights and turns on the music. Press it another time and the sort of hot tub, turns on. Press it a third time, it does a Facebook friend invite, to party at the house, right? And the fourth time, it's like a public event with the disco ball coming out. Those types of things. So
God forbid my kids get a hold of that.
Exactly. So it's funny on the hub sharing sample. A lot of people believe that it won't be the parents; it'll be the kids that do it, and then they'll serendipitously sort of put presence tags on their parents and track where they're at. We'll see.
I swear I'm going to have to go through a metal detector just to check if my kids are doing anything to me. They'll put one in my shoe, right? Well, these Nikes already have a sun sort of sensor in them.
Exactly.
Right?
So there's lots of, just like with the social graph or other things like that, there's lots of implications to think through. But so the benefits are pretty amazing. And in terms of volumes, I mean, it's been amazing. We've been super pleased to see the progress on Kickstarter. So we've got commitments on sort of more than 25,000 devices to ship now, just over the last couple of weeks. We've had 500 plus makers and developers come on board. We've had lots of distribution channels. Of course,
I bet Tim O'Reilly with a Maker Fair, I bet they're going to have a whole area just for people like you. And
it is. It's sort of the time is right. All of the sort of intersecting technology curves make it possible now to connect this stuff.
How much of this did you fund yourself before you got in a Kickstarter? And what does Kickstarter mean for hardware guys like you?
It's there's a lot behind that. So we're a group of founders. We self-funded enough to drive the product to launch initially. So we were going to launch it at the end of this year, regardless of Kickstarter. And I think that put us in a good position to sort of deliver. There's been a lot of challenges with projects on Kickstarter, sort of being overwhelmed by just a couple people being involved. So
it's harder to do hardware than most people realize.
It is,
because the iteration cycle is long.
Exactly.
Going over to China, if you screw up something on hardware and you have to retool it, or if something doesn't test out, or the FCC doesn't approve you have to go take it back. And there's an iteration cycle, right?
There's a lot of iterations. So the beauty of our model with the smart apps and so on is once the hardware is connected, you see most of the complexity is software. But point taken, so we self-funded enough to get the platform, including the hub, the initial 5 things thing types we're launching with, these open standards. So there's literally hundreds of third-party sort of objects that'll talk through it.
I'm guessing that cost $1 million or $2 million just to get to that point.
Cloud platform, the mobile app, all of those moving pieces, sort of ready and through certification.
What was your background to get to that? Because I don't have $1 million in my pocket to self-fund this way.
Yeah,
so what did you guys do?
Lots of going all in for the team. But we've got a group of co-founders. We've done multiple companies together before. Yeah. So I was most recently just finished an earn-out of where I was chief product officer at a company called Reach Local, and they bought my last software business. So.
You've been around the block before. This is
been around the block, but this is sort of the most amazing and fun thing that we've ever had a chance to work on, for sure. So Kickstarter was really about, we thought you asked about the competitive landscape before. I feel like our background is really cloud software, and we feel like a lot of people have really missed what the model needs to be here. They're overly focused on just one of those 3 axes. They might be focused on making it simple for consumers, but such a narrow set of applications that they're sort of trying to lock down, drive a professional installation requirement, making money on the hardware, and so on. On the software front, we really haven't seen anyone do an open software platform for the physical graph yet at this point. There's sort of a few closed device-specific applications that are out there. And then on the open hardware front, we haven't seen anybody sort of make it commercialized enough to make it accessible to consumers, right? It's a lot of enthusiasts that are creating sort of disconnected projects and so on. So for us, Kickstarter was really about bringing that community together to sort of unlock what's possible here, right? Yeah. We had to go to consumers simultaneously to get these basic problems solved. You have to go to software developers and say, let's create a new type of application. We say, hack the physical graph, enable them to build software in the physical world, and it's really fun to do.